Hey, this is Rock Roll Red Plaid. That's what you're listening to. And I'm Derek Roddy. That's who you're seeing.
You, you know, Derek, the first time your name came up on my radar and seeing the incredible playing you do was when you auditioned for Dream Theater, and when you did
Oh,
the
right
the,
on.
the, the series there, which really blew my mind. And like, because like I said, I am not a drummer in any way, shape, or form. It's like if someone put a gun to my head and say drum, I'd say just shoot me. I'm not gonna. It's just not gonna happen. Like it must be the feet, the arms, whatever. But really, just a slew of a cast of talent there. But what was I know you
That was a
probably.
fun day.
Oh my
Yeah, it was a
goodness,
fun
yeah.
day.
Uh, I know you've probably elaborated on this a bajillion times at this point, but
Nothing to
well,
really elaborate on. I mean, it's
yeah.
it was a cool day. I think myself, like a lot of other guys that auditioned, we didn't really have a whole bunch of time to prepare ourselves. But it really didn't matter. I ended up being on the first day right after Mike Mangini, so I think Mike was from like 10 to 2 or something
Hmm.
like that, and then there was like a 2 hour break, and then I was from like 4 to whatever.
Hmm.
I mean, I remember we spent probably 3 or 4 hours together. Most of the time, I was talking to John about like his amps and stuff, like kind of noodling around on guitars, and
Nice.
that was funny because they didn't record the audio for my audition, but it's.
Yeah.
I think that what happened was is like everybody was kind of on break. Like I said, there was like a 2 hour lunch in between,
Hmm.
and my audition didn't really formally start because everybody was kind of just hanging out in the room anyway. So
Hmm.
by the time I had went around and made my introductions to everybody, and I was talking to John and noodling guitar stuff or whatever, we just kind of just randomly started jamming, and I think like the crew was just kind of walking around with sandwiches in their
Oh
mouths and
no.
on the cell phone. They didn't realize that, like, oh man, maybe we should press record. so
Oh
so
boy.
that's what happened there, and it's like they were all
Oh.
kind of. I mean, honestly, those guys were all like deer in the headlight. You could tell like how much Portnoy actually did for the band. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they were all kind of like scattered and didn't really know what they were doing. I don't think.
Mm.
It's just the way that it seemed. I mean, I'm sure over the days it got better with the rest of the drummers, but
Yeah.
me being on the first day, in fact, we even moved room. Um, like after my audition was done, they packed up everything out of one room at SIR and moved it all to another. I
Oh
think
wow.
Zildjian had like an anniversary party or something going on in the room that they wanted.
Oh
Um, it was like
wow.
a slightly bigger room, and so me and Mike were in one room the first day, and then all the other
Hmm.
drummers were in another room all the other days or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool. Those guys are all real cool, laid back and
Yeah.
stuff. Most of the guys in the professional realm are, they're like that. Even when I was doing these fill-in gigs for Charlie and Anthrax, I mean, those guys are all real cool,
Hmm.
super laid back,
Yeah.
super chill. Nobody's really worried about like like it's cool. It's a cool, chill kind of environment.
Yeah. Is Forgive me. My brain is still a little bit scattered from today. Are you filling in? Are you filling in for Charlie when he's doing the Pantera stuff now, or was this previous?
uh, Kind of both. I filled in for him. He got COVID.
Oh, oh
I
dear,
filled in
poor
for
guy.
him, and then another time he had some type of medical procedure he had to follow up on,
Okay.
and he was out for like 13 or 14 days on a tour, and I did those.
Hmm.
And then yeah, some of the Pantera stuff is kind of overlapped here and there. So
Hmm. Okay.
I'm kind of like on an on call basis, and sometimes
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know it's going to be overlapped until last minute. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of always like on call with that, at least for right now.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
like playing that stuff. That stuff's got to be fun to play. It seems like a.
Oh man, it's absolutely great. I mean, I grew up playing us, and it's funny because Charlie is a huge influence. Like when I was in high school, we were listening to Among the Living and Fistful of Metal and all of that stuff like every day for the most part. And when I when I first filled in for him, I sat down on his kit. I realized I didn't have to move anything. I mean, our setups are almost identical to each other. It's kind of funny,
Wow.
actually. And I told him, I was like, man, this is like the Twilight Zone back here on your kit, bro. It's like the only thing I did was I took his. I don't like playing real thick cymbals because they just hurt. They hurt, me at least.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
finesse enough to be able to play a thick cymbal, And I was like, well,
Mm.
go outside and play on the concrete driveway for an hour, and tell me your wrist don't hurt, right? So I took my own cymbals, some thinner cymbals that that give a little bit, and but yeah, that was about it. I just played his kit as is and just ran
Mm.
with it.